Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back to our regular community. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin is currently trading at 31,295, down 1.94%. Ethereum currently trading at 1867, down 2.5%. We notice the stable coins USDC, DAI, USDT, and BUSD. They're a little bit mixed. When they're green, money is flowing into that stable coin. When they're red, money is flowing out of that stable coin. I'd just like to give a quick shout out to Boknai69, who very generously provided the link to this crypto rank site. We're a community channel and we are very proactive in sharing information between each other. One particular thing I really like about CryptoRank, you can see all the stable coins listed in there, that box. USDT, BUSD, DAI, USDC. You can see how large they are. And you have USDT, UST, PAX, HUSD. You can see some other ones in here. This is really cool. Blockchain infrastructure, it gives you an idea what's in that box. Currency gives you an idea what's in the currency box. Financial services, DeFi, meme, why not? Blockchain services, I think it's fantastic. Cloud storage, gaming, protocol. It's a fantastic resource. I suggest you look this one up, CryptoRank. It's really cool. CryptoRank.io/heatmaps is the URL for that. Just returning here, let's look at Ethereum tokens. If you're new here, I'd just like to let you know that everything I do for you is free. Twice a day, 7 days a week, I share my experience as a full-time crypto trader. My goal is to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. Over decades of trading, I've made many rules. Rule 311. Turn pain into strength. Now, what does that mean, Ken, you ask me? Let's let Thomas Edison, an incredible inventor, put his 2 cents in. Thomas Edison said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." When we invest in trade, we feel the same way. You have to do many trades and many investments. And always remember, every investor becomes a trader whenever they buy or sell. As an investor, you don't want to buy at the top and sell at the bottom. That's why it's so important to understand what to do. Confucius, an incredibly magnificent Chinese philosopher, said, "The master has failed more times than the beginner has ever tried. Anyone with mastery is and has been a total failure at some point." It's just the path. It's the progression from failure to failure to failure to success. Don't be concerned if you've lost money. You are on the path to mastery. It's really important that you think that way. Don't give up. Never, ever give up. Now, why do I say that? The very fact that you're here in crypto means, for one, you're really strong. 2, you're very intelligent. And 3, investing and trading is obviously in your blood. If it's in your blood, you can't turn your back on it. You'll just come back at some other stage. If you're losing in your trades or your investments, it's okay. We're at the right stage of the market cycle for things to repair themselves. If you give up now, you turn your back, you walk away, you'll be back later. Just continue, but manage your risk a little bit more effectively in between. When I first began trading and investing, I paid so many people so much money to pay the tuition fee for them to share knowledge with me. Unfortunately, the market demands the tuition fee through losses, and it took me a long time to understand that. Rule 212 is about markets demand the tuition fee of losses. Just think about it this way. If you've made a loss, that's a tuition fee. If you haven't sold, firstly, you're brilliant, because when you sell, that locks in the tuition fee. Up until that point of selling, it's just an IOU. But you will find, as many in the community have found, if you just hold on, and you have to be in the right cycle, you have to understand the trend, and the trend is positive right now, you don't have to pay the tuition fee. You can avoid it. It's like getting out of a debt free of charge. If you haven't managed to see episode 128 yet, I really suggest you need to see it. It's very, very important. It's all about the overall trend of the crypto market. We also look through the stock market from a crypto lens. We discuss crypto-related stocks and how they're moving. And we also look at indexes to see what may be happening there and how it could potentially impact the crypto market. I'm just going to drill into the KS model. Some members of the community asked about the RSI, the relative strength, being violated. Now, it's really important to gain a context and to zoom out. It's really important for a large number of reasons. One is history. I'll just explain that in a minute. If we look at the 3-day RSI, we actually have this resistance has turned to support in terms of the RSI's improvement. Now, where did this occur in the past? This, of course, is Bitcoin's current price action in the current cycle. If we go back to the 2016 halving cycle, going from here, we noticed that there was quite a large sell-off, almost reflecting what we're going through right now. You see the decrease in the relative strength, and then it started turning it to support, started trading over it. Notice this long spike down in the price. Do you see that? Very interesting. You always have to be aware of how incredibly volatile crypto is to the downside and to the upside. If we have a look at this particular pattern just in here, we see it's very structurally similar to what we're experiencing right now. This spike downwards was to pull in all the shorts. Now what happened? They got liquidated. Look at this incredible surge in price. Then the surge took us up above the all-time high at that stage in the 2016 halving cycle. It topped out and came back and retested that. You see that retest there? This is the incredible volatile nature of crypto. I just wanted to say that. I know I've mentioned it before, but it's really, really good to reiterate on that. I'd also like to thank a fellow community member, Empty and Meaningless, Welsh Dev. Thank you, Empty and Meaningless, for sharing this sentiment indicator. What it says is that the Bitcoin whale holdings are going up. There is a divergence between holdings and the price. I think this is really cool, and it just indicates how many indicators are coming together in a time where most retail investors are getting horrified, getting freaked out. Look at what the whales are doing. They're not getting freaked out. This is exactly the time to buy. And you might notice that they started purchasing on capitulation, which is exactly what whales do. Let's get into Rule 1122, the KS method for timing. We need to see how Bitcoin and the market is performing before we pull the trigger. We always do a quick news sentiment analysis. Okay, let's run the news. Coal-powered Bitcoin mining soars. Well, it's great that it's soaring. Coal-powered, I'm not so sure about that. But let's treat that as a positive. When we look through these news stories, what we're trying to do is say, how would a typical new investor or trader look at this? Cryptocurrency prices today? Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to read that. People are so busy. They just want to read a headline. Whales move 14,500 Bitcoin. Whoa! Doesn't that directly contradict just the last thing we looked at? Bitcoin trades lower. Ooh, that's bad. As Square creates a new business. Hang on a sec. I'm confused now. Negative and a positive. Become a Bitcoin investment expert for $20. Wow, sign me up. Gee, it seems like you don't need any skill for that. Only $20. Wow. Bitcoin test 31,000 once again. Okay, below. Oh, that's not looking good. Towards a major support level. Oh, everybody loves support. That's probably good. Again, you're trying to think about what an average investor would see. Tennessee City wants to accept property tax payments in Bitcoin. Whoa, baby, here it comes. Coinbase CEO hits back at Dogecoin creator after an attack. Oh, they're just loving it, these billionaires. What to do? Doge, XRP, and ADA take a price hit, while Bitcoin technicals show, whoa, that seems pretty positive. Now, let's have a look at this particular one. Whales move. What's that about? Let's fact check the news. When I'm looking at the trend in Bitcoin in that previous episode, I always go through this live data on the number of transfers to exchanges of Bitcoin. Notice this sharp increase when Bitcoin is moved in large volumes onto exchanges. It is to get rid of, usually at the peak. Where are we right now? This is a bit intriguing, isn't it? We're at about the lowest we've been. So, what can we say about that news? Fact checked. Forget about it. We have very active communities, 3 active communities. We've got the Discord group. All of these are free. You're very welcome to join and very welcome to share, as you can see many members do. We have one on Discord, one on Facebook, and one on Twitter. They're so cool. Anuj B2K shared this. Bitcoin and time. From this, mathematically, it looks like it has a long way to go for Bitcoin to reach the trust level of gold. But however, notice the mathematics. This is an exponential function. Getting up around here satisfies the majority of the trust. It doesn't have far to go at all. Now, why is this here? Peter Schiff had a really interesting news story, and I always refresh the news analysis to bring you the latest news, and it disappeared off the page. And then I went to page 2 and 3, it wasn't there. But Peter was basically saying, Peter Schiff is a gold expert, no question. He's been in the industry for an incredibly long period of time. And I love gold. I used to trade in it. I really love gold. Now, the compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, sounds very ominous, doesn't it? CAGR, of gold is 1% a year. That means if you put money in for the past 10 years, you will get a 1% return year on year on year on year of 1% compounding. If you put that $1,000 a year into the S&P 500, you will get 13% year on year on year. And if you put it into Bitcoin, which is just a proxy for cryptocurrency, you would get 118% year on year on year on year. The really interesting thing is Peter, when he comes out, of course, he wants people to get more interested in gold. And there's a lot of reasons to be interested in gold. Personally, I love gold. I just bear the relative returns in your mind when you're trying to allocate to different portfolios. If you look at Bitcoin and traditional asset return on investment, Bitcoin has done fairly well over the past 10 years. Gold's not done too badly, 14% over 10 years, that's not bad. S&P 232%. Bitcoin's just a little way in front of that at 245,000%. So how is Bitcoin doing today? Let's have a look. Bitcoin is currently under that structural resistance at 32,414. It's going down. Now, this is not bad. As I've said many, many times, we need the shorts in the market. And you say, Ken, but I just want the price to go up. What do we need shorts for? They drive the price down. Here's the best reason I can give you. If we go back to the previous cycle, you see price came down and down and down and then broke, and all the shorts piled in en masse and were totally liquidated. This is why we get so much exponential movement in Bitcoin. It's the nature of an exponential asset class. If you're going short, please be careful. The technicals in crypto are exponential by nature. You have to be really, really cautious. Please manage your risk. These technical violations, sharp spikes down followed by sharp spikes back up, sharp angles reflecting, are very common in Bitcoin and crypto. People are saying if it breaks below a certain level, that's all over, everybody can go home, and basically crypto will collapse. Guess what? They're wrong. The shorts will get absolutely hammered. And that is exactly what the institutions are waiting for. We can see Bitcoin currently at support around 31,194, just above the support at 31,111. We also have support at 30,000. We've got resistance above at 32,054 and 32,834, as well as that structural resistance at 32,414. Let's have a look at the Bitcoin longs and Bitcoin shorts. We can see the shorts increasing, and notice the longs are starting to ramp up. This shouldn't surprise you. You can see a little bit of liquidation in the shorts and downward price momentum. What's actually happening here is that the longs are gathering momentum against the shorts. Let's have a look at Ethereum. ETH USD longs, this is the number of margin longs measured in Ethereum, which is 86,000. ETH USD shorts is the number of margin shorts measured in ETH. That is currently 112,357. So what you can see here is that there is a lot of shorting behavior, but they have been decreasing. The longs are just kind of sitting on the sidelines, seeing what the shorts are doing. Let's have a look at the max pain level for Bitcoin. It's still 36,000 for the July 30 expiration. It's stayed at 36,000 for quite a while now. Let's have a look at Ethereum. The Ethereum max pain price is 2,400, just as it was before for July 30th. This is the maximum liquidity. We can push it down to lower time frames day by day, but that's not really going to give us the better picture. We need more open interest. Let's have a look at the puts and the calls for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Calls, if I call you up, that's really cool. I love to call you up. If somebody puts someone down, that's not very nice. Puts are short, calls are longs. So what we notice here, the calls are decreasing, the puts are increasing. This is exactly what we want to hammer in an exponential up price move. The puts in Ethereum are more than the calls, exactly what we are looking for. Remember, that relative strength is increasing. Let's have a look at liquidations. Over the past 24 hours, $264.68 million was liquidated via 79,125 traders. If we look over the past 12 hours, 75.4% of liquidations were long. If we look over the period, we can see, sorry, just make that days so you can see, there's been not a lot of activity. We're seeing very low liquidation volumes. Let's change it to the 15 minutes to get a better picture of what's going on. We can see a lot of long liquidations. That's creating psychological safety for the shorts. You remember when price goes up and up and up and longs get psychological safety, what happens? They get liquidated by the shorts. What do you think's happening now? Correct. The exact opposite is about to play out. Just having a quick look at the fear and greed index. Extreme fear of 22 is being felt in the market right now. We're coming up to the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust unlock, and you know it unlocks all the time. The options expiration max pain for Bitcoin is still at 36,000. As soon as this changes, I will change the line up and down to give us a better indication. We know that we haven't had any real sizable liquidations. There's a lot of flows of stablecoins onto the market, and they're used to deploy. When people feel psychological safety, for example, people that go long feel very happy when the price is going up, not so happy when the price is going down, happy, 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 and they end up buying at the top, which is unfortunately what a lot of people get sucked in. And those people also can learn an incredibly powerful lesson. If you're at the right time, all of those losses will disappear. Just hold on. Now, what's happening to shorts is the inverse of what happens to the longs. When the price goes down and down and down and down, the shorts feel more and more and more confident to go short and pile into the market, especially like these levels. People are getting ready. Now, what's going to happen? They're going to get crushed by the longs. It's the market is setting itself up that way. If you're going short and that's your edge, you go for it. Please just be a little careful. Let's have a look at the Bitcoin stablecoin supply ratio, SSR oscillator. What this basically says is that money is being deployed into Bitcoin from stablecoins. That's what it means. Let's have a look at net realized profit and loss. Now, why do we look at this thing? You see all these funny green lines above? That means the longs are making a huge amount of profit. What happens when they profit? The shorts say, whoa, time for me to get a bit of that, thank you. And they do. Now, what happens when there's too much red down here? The longs come back in and say, time to get a bit of profit from you. And you've got a yin and yang type scenario where the longs and the shorts are working together to heat up and cool down the market, keep it in balance. It's really important to know where the total market is headed. You will see many channels on YouTube tell you that the total market cap is, for example, right now, it's $1.268 trillion. But there is a much deeper story under that particular level. When every single crypto is represented in one chart, waving down, price waving down, price going up, it's always moving in a wave. Always remember that. It's a very, very important thing. Price is waving up, waving down, waving up, waving down. Price is always moving in a wave. When total market crypto, this is literally every single crypto in the market, when it breaks over this resistance, the next path will be up to 1.35 trillion just here, and the next up to that structural resistance up around 1.429 trillion. That means when this resistance is turned into support, your alts will fly. That's why we look at it. It's important to understand these dynamics. Before we ever pull the trigger, we need to know how literally everything is performing. If you don't do that, if you just hop into your beloved altcoin and say buy, 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 sell, 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 you'll get hammered. It's really important to get the context. Let's have a look at the top 7. Top 7 are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, Binance Coin, Cardano, XRP, and USD Coin. Let's have a look at the top 24-hour gainers. Top 24 is NEM, HBAR, Ravencoin, Atom, Waves, Stellar, and Leo. Let's go the other way. What's cooking that? In that direction, greatest losses, Telcoin, Axie Infinity, Rune, Flow, STX, FTT, and Mana. What about the greatest 7-day gainers? Axie Infinity, Flow, NEM, Ravencoin, OKB, HBAR, and Stacks. Let's go the other way. What are the greatest 7-day losses? Telcoin, ZRX, Theta, T-Fuel, KCS, Rune, and Uni. Time for some fun. Let's have some crypto bubbles. It's always fun to blow bubbles. This is cryptobubbles.net. We can see this is a daily basis here. We can see Axie Infinity going down, Telcoin, SEM, HBAR, Rune. We can draw our eye to what is happening. Now let's just change that to a week performance. We can see AXS, Axie Infinity, XEM, Flow, HBAR. It's quite a OKB. It's quite a good way to look at the market. But what if we wanted to dig more deeply? I'm always interested in tracking strength. Strength is incredibly important when it comes to any investing. And you know, if you're an investor, you're automatically a trader whenever you buy and sell. Binance derivatives, looking at the change in the price of the contract in the past 24 hours can give you some really cool insights. 24-hour trading volume is $46.96 billion. 24-hour open interest is $6.4 billion. Now, when we go through these percentages, we're traditionally, well, what I do, I look at double-digit gainers. And you can look at double-digit losers as well. You can see AXS has gone down 20.1%. That means it's losing interest. If we keep on going down, we're looking, you can see 1 inch has got price pressure. Atom's got a little bit. XEM not doing too badly. This is just a really cool way of getting underneath the hood. You can see HBAR. You really want anything about 8% and over. 10% is preferable, but it really depends on the day. So Raven, 10.2%, RVN. It's a really fascinating thing to do. You can also dollar cost average in when it goes really highly negative as well. This is just the futures, just pop there for your reference. Now just remember the structure of crypto total market cap. You can use this in your timing. We have this resistance that we're seeking to pass over. Until we do that, we know that there's downward pressure. There's nothing wrong with dollar cost averaging into your alts. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum is currently trading at 1859. It has resistance above at 1875 and structural resistance at 1909. It has support below at 1832 and 1794. If you've been keeping up with the news, there's a lot of interest in Ethereum ETFs. Wow, that's going to be really, really interesting. I believe a lot of the downward pressure on Ethereum is because fund managers want their funds to absolutely rock and roll in terms of returns. Just keep that in mind. You can see Binance Coin has been holding up quite well. It's got a lot of fresh air above it to structural resistance, and it's holding that consolidating region quite well. Binance Coin is currently trading at 302.54. It has structural support below it at 291.52 and has another level of light structural support at 284.85 and support at 278.17. It has resistance above at 309 and 318. Let's have a look at ADA, Cardano. ADA is currently trading at 117.10, just literally at support. It has another level of support at 112.07. It has two levels above at resistance, and they're both structural. One at 121.27 and 124.11. The thing to bear in mind with these alts, when Bitcoin recovers, they fly. When Bitcoin is under pressure, they sink. It's a property of Bitcoin and how the alts relate. It is always alt season. Forget about dominance. It will just lead you totally astray. That is like Bitcoin dominance. You're much better off to just look at the charts. Let's have a look at XRP. XRP is currently trading at 58.88. It's just above support, so we could say it's pretty much trading at support. It has a lower level of structural support, that means strong support, at 56.94 and a support below at 55 as well. Let's look above the current price for resistance levels. The first one is 59.99, the second one 61.36, and that structural resistance at 63.17. It's really good for you to understand that sharp angles tend to reflect. When things come down, they go up. That's why I'm always looking for really, really sharp sell-offs, because they tend to last not very long in terms of time, and they tend to repair incredibly quickly. You can see XRP has covered this down structural resistance, turned it into support. It's like relative strength, if you think of relative strength in this way as well. It's trading to the right of that. Just because it has a level of structural resistance above it doesn't mean much. This is building a base, and you can see it's a pretty good base. When Bitcoin takes off, XRP will rocket. Let's have a look at DOGE. DOGE is currently trading at 17,639. It has support below at 16,539 and 15,569. It has resistance above at 17,980 and 18,753. Now, I would like to tell you how I look at this chart. It may be a little bit different than the way you do. When you have sharp angles, they reflect. Also, this particular chart, I'm just looking at the chart, it's above structural resistance. That is now structural support. That's a very good thing. There's no real structural resistance and support causing any problems around the current area of price. If I was to take a position in DOGE, I would hope for a spike down so I could slurp up buy orders to lower the average price down, and then I would expect DOGE to come back and reach this peak here, around here. Now, if it did that just from the current price, it's around a 55.95% return. It's really interesting if you look through the eyes of it is going down, but we always know price is moving in a wave. This is unnaturally suppressed. It's not going to stay suppressed forever. When it comes back up, there's a real opportunity for incredible gain. Now, how does this compare to Bitcoin? Let's just overlay Bitcoin's price action. As you can see, all alts can't escape Bitcoin's gravity. It's an unfortunate thing in the crypto market, but it's just the way it is. Now, when Bitcoin repairs, DOGE will rock and roll. This is a really, really good thing to know. If you keep your eye on Bitcoin, whatever coin you're in, once Bitcoin crosses over its resistance, finds support, and starts to repair, all the market will do the same. Let's have a look at Polkadot. DOT is currently trading at 12,316. What's really interesting in DOT is exactly the same thing as we were talking about with DOGE. If DOT was to just come up and reach back to this particular peak, it's not doing a massive repair, it's just doing a wave down and a wave back up. This is even before structural resistance. There's a 43.5% return. It's really interesting to look at it this way. When I look at DOT, I get an itchy buy finger. And of course, I've already placed my orders in DOT at support levels going down. I love these sell-offs, especially as I see the trend in Bitcoin strengthening. It's really interesting. I just wanted to pass that on to you. Okay, let's look at DOT. So DOT has support at 12 even and at 11,400. It has resistance at 12,911 and 14,023. Rule 56 is a very, very profitable rule. It is, don't seek tops or bottoms. Now the reason for this is we only know a top has existed when the top is hammered in and the price comes down. We only know a bottom exists when the price goes down and then the price starts to repair. As a professional trader and investor, because you are now, just think about it, you are a professional. You don't care about tops and bottoms anymore. You say, I'm going to look at the probabilities. How are things operating underneath the hood of crypto inside the engine? You say the bottom is being put in and you know the price is negatively biased. It can spike down and spike back up. You remember the behavior of past cycles, such as this in the last cycle where price fell below what you would say a critical level and plummeted and then shot up and just liquidated all the short positions that were put in there. Just remember these things. That's why we don't seek tops or bottoms. It's just impossible to do. We can only trade on probabilities. Let's have a look at a community favorite, Polygon, MATIC. A lot of people in the community are interested in this one. We can see it's been fairly suppressed in price, like DOGE. How is this comparing to Bitcoin? We can see, just like all other cryptos, that Bitcoin's fingerprint impacts every single alt. It doesn't matter what it is, they all get hit with the down, but also with the up. We're seeing that the upward pressure on Bitcoin is going to start to accumulate. As all the shorts pile in with psychological safety, they're going to basically get liquidated by the longs. Now, when that happens, what happens to MATIC? As Bitcoin improves, MATIC will push through these structural resistance levels. It could take a little bit of time. It's not as if they're not there, so we have to be mindful of that. They are there, so that can slow price down. But you know what happens when MATIC gets above $1.06? There's nothing above it. It can quickly shoot up. Now, let's think about the previous analysis that we did. If MATIC was to go from its current price of 83,329 approximately back up to around the $1.25 level, that's a 50% increase. This is the value of investing when things are going down. There are enormous returns. When we get to the bear market, this is the kind of stuff that we will be doing. We'll make sure that because we don't ever know the top, and it's important that you understand we never know the top, we can only ever trade and invest on the basis of probabilities. But there are some very strong signs as to what a top and a bottom are, just as we're experiencing right now in Bitcoin. When MATIC comes up to here, we know all prices move in waves. If Bitcoin experiences a massive liquidation in shorts, the price behavior will be exponential. For example, in the 2016 cycle, can you imagine experienced this drop down? Let's zoom in there a bit. That's better. You can see it better. Now, look at that particular level. All the shorts would have said if it falls below this wick on that red candle there, it's just going to plummet all the way back to the previous all-time high. Sound familiar? Now, what happened? It went down a little bit because it was a trap. It was a trap. The trap was to capture the shorts and liquidate them with long positions. Look at that covering. That is all short covering. That's really scary. If you were a short, you could actually lose your account on that. I'll just draw a little thing to show you how much price changed in the span of 2 days. Well, 3 days. 3 days times 2. 6 days. Over 6 days, 2 of these candles, it went from down here up 61%. Now this is Bitcoin. If you think about alts have a gearing relationship, the BTC alt gearing, which is generally much higher than 2. You can imagine how alts exploded. That's why I'm saying it's always alt season. It's really important that you don't get sucked into concepts of dominance, Bitcoin dominance, alt dominance, that stuff. It's a fantasy. Now, what are we saying here? Look at that. Over the span, I'll just move it back a little bit here. It's about probably, my mouse is uncontrollable. Okay, we're looking at about, say, 62% over 3 days effectively. 3 days, 62%. Nobody could believe it. It's almost as if price just repaired itself back to that all-time high, almost repaired in 3 days. This is the exponential nature of Bitcoin. This is what so many people writing newspaper articles and online and chatting about it on YouTube stations, they miss the point of how explosive Bitcoin is. It hasn't made huge returns for no reason. Let's just look at the current price action, where we are. This is a live trading model. This is the KS model. We're inside it. This is how powerful it is. We can do all sorts of magic. Imagine this line gets broken. What's going to happen? Exactly the same thing that happened last cycle. This repair will be rapid and it will be severe, and it's going to catch a lot of people by surprise. Just keep your eye open for that. I hope you found this content useful. Everything I do for you is free. Please be aware of scammers. We have already a free Discord group, a free Facebook group. You can contact me directly on Twitter, or you can follow me. There is nothing to pay for. I don't ever reach out in terms of WhatsApp or anything like that. I'm very accessible. Just please be aware of people pretending to be me. I'd love it if you reached out and said hi and let me know where you're viewing from. It's always nice to reach out and say hello. And the community is really, really welcoming. You're very welcome in our community. Let's have a look at these Ethereum tokens. If you would like twice daily updates, 7 days a week on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube and join us on Facebook and Discord and Twitter. All of these groups are free. Crypto is really volatile. Please prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.